After internationally applauded Chandrayaan mission, ISRO is back with the upcoming interplanetary missions to Mars, Venus, the Sun. Vikram lander and Gaganyaan rover, part of India's first attempt to land on the Moon with the Chandrayaan mission, appear to be incommunicado on the Moon's surface after a failed 7 September crash landing. But the Indian Space Research Organization's, ISRO'S, has a packed couple of years ahead, with a string of interesting and interplanetary projects on its to-do list in the near future. The Chandrayaan mission, and the Gaganyaan manned mission planned for 2022 are two of the better-known, bigger-budget missions, but far from the only ones for which work is underway. The agency is also working on a total of 7 interplanetary missions in the coming decade. Among the destinations are Mars, the Moon, Venus, the Sun's corona and interplanetary space to study space. The first of these will be in April 2020, with the L1 mission to the Sun. April 2020, estimated L1 mission. The L1 mission is ISRO's first planned probe to study the Sun's corona and its atmosphere. The corona is the outer layer of the Sun, which extends thousands of km above the visible disk around it. Interestingly, it has temperatures over 1,000,000 degrees Kelvin, far higher than the surface of the Sun, 6,000 degrees Kelvin. How the corona gets heated to such high temperatures is still an unanswered question in solar physics, and something NASA's Parker probe is currently exploring. ISRO's L1 will also soon follow suit and study this astrophysical mystery. The probe is expected to launch in April 2020 on a PSLV rocket from Sriharikota. December 2021/January 2022, Gaganyaan mission. In his 2018 Independence Day address, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that India will attempt to send astronauts to space on a spacecraft called the Gaganyaan by 2022. The mission will make India only the 4th nation in the world to accomplish the feat if successful, he added. At Rs 10,000 crore, Gaganyaan is slated to be India's biggest, boldest space mission so far. The Gaganyaaan's crew module to house astronauts, its life support systems to keep them alive in space, and the spacecraft's environmental control systems have already been developed, and are being tested at a new facility opened by ISRO for human spaceflight missions. The mission is highest priority for ISRO in 2019, the space agency announced, with plans to have the first unmanned tests for the mission in December 2020 and second in July 2021. If these tests are successful, the manned mission will happen as planned in December 2021. 2022 to 2023, Mangalyaan 2, or the Mars Orbiter Mission 2. India's second mission to Mars, the Mars Orbiter 2, is another planned mission by the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, between 2022 and 2023. The Mangalyaan 2 orbiter will use aerobraking to lower its initial apopsis and enter into an orbit more suitable for observations. This mission, much like the Mangalyaan 1 mission, has been planned as an orbiter-alone mission, and won't feature a lander or rover. The late 2020s, Chandrayaan 3 mission. While the second mission in the Chandrayaan, India's lunar exploration program, is still currently underway, Sivan announced in January this year that the third mission in the series will also be carried out in the coming decade. The Chandrayaan program was always intended as a multi-mission space program. The Moon is a good candidate as a staging point for carrying out our deep space human spaceflight missions, and Chandrayaan 2 will assess the suitability of the Moon for such activities, Chairman Sivan said in an interview to Current Science. ISRO will also soon initiate a space robotics program to look at the possibility of an Indian robot on the Moon, he added. With the first mission in the program featuring an orbiter and the second featuring a soft lander and rover, it sure is interesting to consider what India's third lunar mission might bring to the table. Could Chandrayaan 3 be the mission to put an Indian robot on the Moon? 2023 to 2025, Shukrayaan mission to Venus. Our neighboring planet Venus is often described as Earth's twin sister due to similarities in their sizes, densities, composition and gravity. Some theories suggest both planets share a common origin, forming at the same time from the same condensing swirl of gas and dust all those 4.5 billion years ago. Being 30% closer to the Sun than the Earth, Venus has a much higher exposure to solar radiation, effects of solar flares and other solar phenomena, which makes it an object of interest for ISRO to study. ISRO intends to send an orbiter mission to study the atmosphere of Venus, which is made up primarily of carbon dioxide. The Shukrayaan mission will study the dense, hot atmosphere of Venus and the planet's surface using a probe. The satellite configuration and payloads on Shukrayaan-1 are yet to be finalized. But the science objectives that will feed the design of the spacecraft are the superrotation of the Venusian atmosphere and how it interacts with solar radiation and solar wind are also among the mission's science objectives, according to an ISRO release. The late 2020s, EXPOSat planetary exploration. The EXPOSat mission appears to be a follow-up to the ASTRO-SAT mission, ISRO's multi-wavelength X-ray astronomy observatory studying X-ray sources in the universe. Considering the great success of ASTRO-SAT, the EXPOSat mission will further explore X-rays in the universe, specifically, the polarization of bright X-ray sources in our universe. These objects could be neutron stars, supernova remnants, pulsars and regions around black holes that could give scientists information about the electromagnetic nature of space radiation. Understanding space radiation better could be used to protect spacecraft and astronauts in the future, but also pave the way for space technology to better understand happenings in the universe. These, K. Shivan said at the briefing, are only some of the planned interplanetary missions ISRO has in mind for the decade to come. 2023, India's space station. Another plan in the pipeline is a space station that will be built by India. Currently, the International Space Station is the only functioning one, but it is supposed to be winding up by 2028. The proposed station will weigh 15-20 tons and will be able to host people for 15-20 days. It will be used to conduct microgravity tests, said Kailasavadavu Shivan, the chairperson of ISRO to Business Standard. The space station, according to Shivan, is a logical extension of the Rs 10,000 crore Gaganyaan mission that will be sending human beings to space in 2022. The timeline for the mission is 5 to 7 years, which should be a challenge, but ISRO has been developing the necessary technologies like the space docking technology that should keep it on track. If you enjoyed the video, then please like, subscribe and write a comment below to follow updates. If you have any suggestion, then let us know in the comment section below.